EPCOT. It's the theme park of the future, full of innovative, emerging technologies. A place to experience the cutting edge and get a sense of what the future could look like, but you know, in a theme park form. Well, it might have been that in 1982, but today, however, it's the theme park of the future stuck in the past. Fortunately for you, and mostly me, EPCOT isn't just one theme park, it's secretly two stuck together. The designers couldn't figure out whether to make it a theme park of tomorrow or a world showcase. So, you can see outdated technology and experience countries from around the globe by visiting 11 different pavilions, each giving you a slice of what the real world is like, only with a tiny bit of cultural appropriation and excessive stereotypes. But what can you do?
Hello buddy, where are we?
EPCOT.
We're walking under the ball. Wow, what a lovely ball. I've seen one of these before.
Have you?
What?
Where?
There's one at Europa Park.
No.
Oh, I've been here before.
Yeah, true.
What are we doing first?
Le Frozen.
Frozen.
Yeah.
We're walking amongst all of the people to the Frozen, which is ideal. We're going to pass Guardians on the way, I think.
With any Disney park, you can't necessarily go to the best ride first, you instead have to ride the busiest one. So we beeline straight for Frozen Ever After, a lovely boat ride themed to that very popular pair of animated films. Anything to save waiting upwards of 60 minutes for it later in the day.
Frozen.
Will it be worth it?
Oh, we haven't had to wait, so hopefully. So we've just ridden Frozen. Is it called Frozen the Ride, whatever? Zoe was just saying.
I was just saying, obviously they're quite realistic, so I don't know whether kids like believe
You're
it's
saying, would
there.
you tell your kids that that is
actually Elsa?
yeah.
But then you go out and then you meet the actual Elsa.
And she's not a cartoony looking, you know, she's a
woman.
physical person.
I bet those are getting close to like.
Well, they're not.
Know, oh, it's not. Yeah, but to a kid.
Yeah, to a
oh my
kid.
God, that's the cartoon of Elsa. I'm very confused.
The whole like lighting on the eyes thing is really jarring, I find. Especially the end, because the whole face is like lit up. And then you've got like, their face is so much brighter than every other part of their body. You just think, okay.
They're getting there.
Well, I think the like other Frozen rides being built, or yeah, Frozen rides being built are all animatronic based now. So they're less about, you know, having light on people's faces and more about actually having
like
animatronics that, yeah, like the Avatar one, so you have a whole face and stuff. So I'm sure that's better, and hopefully the one coming to...
They've got to get the movements on the face.
Yeah,
right,
it's a lot, isn't it?
Stop the projections.
Hopefully the one coming to Paris will be like that and have physical people, but we'll see.
It's very cute.
It's a cute little ride, isn't it? Is that what you're going to say?
Oh yeah, it's very nice. And I think it's got like some elements of like, you know, ooh, this happens. It's not just like scene. It's like kind of a bit of a story.
Going backwards down the drop with Elsa singing was
cool.
pretty cool. I think they've done a good job with the amount of kind of what they were given, and you know, because it's all a retrofit, right? So it's pretty good. I'm glad that we did it, and I'm glad that we only waited like 5 minutes for it. So we successfully ticked Frozen off the list quickly. The problem with rope dropping stuff at a new park for us is that you miss all of the scenery. We didn't get to explore EPCOT normally, we rushed straight to Frozen to then immediately rush somewhere else. Obviously, if you weren't obsessed with theme parks like me, you might act like a normal person and take it easy. Now it's time to ride Guardians of the Galaxy, so I logged on at 7 in the morning and booked a reservation slot, managed to get boarding group 4, so we're being called now, which is cool. I also bought a lightning lane for later, because I want to ride it twice, and now it's at 1. So I think we're going to ride it now, then spend a bit of time doing some of the other stuff, and then we'll ride it again at 1 to get those 2 rides. And I'm sure we'll come back to EPCOT to probably, you know,
do it again.
Rope drop something else and then go back to Guardians again and get the reservation, so exciting. For context, recently Disney has employed a reservation system with their brand new rides. Instead of queuing excessive amounts of time, Disney has solved this issue by giving people virtual reservation slots to spread out demand. The thing is, Cosmic Rewind has been open for ages. At this point, the virtual reservation slots aren't always used up. This makes zero sense. The ride ends up sitting there
empty in the evening. So instead of being able to queue for multiple rides, I had to fork out $13 each to ride it again. What an incredible theme park experience!
We just come off Guardians of the Galaxy, and that was really good, wasn't it?
So good.
So cool.
So good. It's like really fun, but then you're just like in awe of everything as it's happening. Like the pre-shows were good, but then when you get on the ride, it's just way better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it starts off really good with the cool pre-shows. The scene where you get teleported up into the ship is incredible. I think those kind of things where like you step in one room and then something happens and you kind of come into a different one, it's really cool. The screens are just really effective.
Yeah.
You know, they add enough value, but there's still other things to look at.
And then the stars were so good as well.
The stars are really cool. The music was really good. The spins were really cool. Oh god, I'm so glad that we've paid an extortionate amount of money to be able to ride it again later today.
Yeah.
Because it was really cool.
That,
yeah, definitely. And it was really bizarre because no one was in the station. We're like one of the first people on the ride, and it's just kind of very strange to just be there. But yeah, really cool ride. I really hope that we get to ride it lots more on this trip. But I know it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, wow.
Cosmic Rewind is incredible. I mean, genuinely, man, what a brilliant ride. Anyway, more on that later. As I said, EPCOT is a theme park of two halves. The front is the future, but the future in 1982, which is now the past, and the second area is the world, condensed down to 11 countries. One of these two halves is really ugly, and the other is really pretty. Care to guess which one is which? I'll give you a clue. I barely filmed anything in the bad area. World Showcase is really impressive. It's actually a pleasure to walk around and experience all of the different pavilions. I adore architecture, so seeing the different styles throughout was a joy. It's also an unwritten, or perhaps heavily written rule at this point, that you have to buy snacks as you walk around World Showcase. So that's exactly what we did.
What you got, bud?
I've got a caramel butter schmore.
Cookie s'more thing.
From Germany.
Go on then. Werther's original secret recipe. Good.
That's a good cookie.
Nice. We're slowly making our way around, building a few things, namely Frozen, obviously Guardians of the Galaxy, and Test Track. We've got the Guardians of the Galaxy reservation booked for
One-ish.
1. So we're just going to kind of make our way around and see how far we can get. Until then, we also went on the the boat ride with the birds, man. It's terrible. It's just not very good, is it?
No. Make it into Coco.
There you go. We've spoken. But yeah, it's a cool place. Yeah, the lake is cool.
Alright, let's expand on those thoughts. Test Track. I really enjoyed it. The making your own car feature is actually kind of fun and cool. It definitely adds rewritability. When it comes to the ride, it's been tronified. Everything has neon blue lights attached to it. It's futuristic, which is surprising for EPCOT, but I'm not convinced that's a good thing. I did ride the original and I missed some of the old elements of Test Track, like the hot and cold temperature environments, but I am a fan of the ride generally. I am not a fan of Grand Fiesta Tour starring the three whatevers. It's a stupid ride and a stupid name. Is the entire attraction themed around finding Donald Duck? Like, genuinely? I just didn't get it. It's all a bit goofy and silly. Some of the sets were nice, but it just wasn't enough to offset the fact I had no clue what was happening for 95% of the time. Anyway, time for more food. It is World Showcase after all.
What we got?
This is a chorizo and potato empanada, and it's good.
We plan to reopen the virtual queue at 1 p.m. to fill additional boarding groups.
One spicy meatball.
And now, something to wash it down with.
Beverage from the bar, the pub even. I don't know why I said bar. The guy in there was kept calling everyone mate. but he wasn't from the UK, so I was a bit upset with that. A bit of a cultural appropriation there. Didn't really feel quite right.
What's it like? What's the day like?
It's good though. It's fine. It's quite hot. Well,
what?
It's 24 degrees.
Oh, I thought you meant the beer.
No, as in it's 24 degrees, which is hotter than the trip's been so far. So it's a nice, cold, refreshing. Jeez, half a cup. Yeah, it's good. Lovely.
I feel a bit stupid being from the UK buying a drink from the pub within the UK pavilion. I was just intrigued to see what it was like. Not gonna lie though, the beer went straight to my head. It was a very hot day and we hadn't had too much to eat at that point. The beer was very lovely though, you know, you can't beat a pint sometimes. Actually, what's better than a pint? A pint followed by a ride on Cosmic Rewind. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind is the best ride at EPCOT and one of the best rides in all of Walt Disney World and all of Orlando too. It's seriously a quality roller coaster. The way they've managed to blend screens with spinning creates a real storyline whilst on the ride. No more lasers or passing by moons or silly things like that. We see story elements happen before us as we're spinning down a huge drop. I mean, it's genuinely incredible. The randomized music also helps to make it more re-rideable. Getting Conga followed by September felt like an absolute win for us. I really hope more theme parks produce Cosmic Rewind-esque rides in the future. It's definitely a way forward for roller coasters that want to provide that proper dark ride experience. Whilst in the area, we rode the dark rides nearby. First was Mission Space, I mean the orange side of course. Man, was that intense? More than I expected. I'm really glad I didn't enjoy my beer just before riding it. That definitely wouldn't have ended well. It's a really unique concept and certainly provides insight into what it might feel like to be crammed inside of a small compartment hurtling through space. Next up, Spaceship Earth, the EPCOT Ball Ride. Terrible! I hated it. The scenes were weird and not very cohesive, the ride system stopped every 60 seconds and then took another 60 seconds to get back up to speed, and the entire story made very little sense. Why did it end in a garage? Why must I vertically descend through the ball on my back? Why must I design a stupid future for myself? It's an outdated ride for an outdated park. And finally, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, as well as Turtle Talk. These are two cute little rides and experiences. Nemo is a nice, small, easygoing dark ride, though I do wish you got to see more real fish. Turtle Talk on the other hand is super cute. It's hilarious listening to the kids ask Crush incredibly random questions and hear the same kids answer strangely to Crush's really normal questions. Definitely worth the 10 minutes to check it out. Okay, and breathe. At this point, we took a break from EPCOT for a few hours to mentally regain our strength. Walking around World Showcase and the rest of the park really racks up the steps.
You got what it takes. Daddy, hold this, I gotta dance.
We saw a show, the Disney on Broadway concert series. They rotate through various stars from Disney's multitude of Broadway shows. I can't say I've seen any Disney show on Broadway, but I did enjoy it. It was a nice change of pace from outdated dark rides. Okay, what's next? An outdated dark ride! But this time, one with a cult following. Of course, I'm talking about Figment and Journey into Imagination with Figment. Now, I'd heard that the ride was something before, but I had no idea what I was getting into. But man, what an awful attraction. It makes so little sense and seems to achieve absolutely nothing. It's basically a purple dragon goofing around for 10 minutes. It's genuinely boring, deranged, scary, and over the top, all at the same time. Figment's ride is by far one of the most random theme park experiences I've ever had. Yikes.
We're in the very 90s land pavilion. Woo! What did you think of Soarin'?
It was nice. Harry thought it was really boring. But
Soarin' for
nice.
a boring, am I right?
It was nice. Lovely smells,
Just
lovely,
a bit.
comfortable
It doesn't
seat.
move. It doesn't.
Yeah, but it's not
anything.
about that. I don't think. It's not meant to be good. I don't think it is. It's just lovely.
Is it just lovely?
Yeah.
Nearly time for Harmonious.
It is, but we need some food before we get in position.
There you go. So it's tasked with finding some food.
The lovely app.
Yes. We did Live in Wonderland as well. It's cool.
That was cool. It's a bit slow.
Very slow.
Could have gone a little bit quicker.
Yeah, why
There
is it
was
so
a lot
slow?
to look at in the greenhousey bit, but
Yeah.
otherwise, just pick up the pace, isn't it? But yeah,
The greenhouse is very good.
it was cool. Yeah.
That pretty much sums up my thoughts on both rides. Soarin' is boring. It's really difficult to like the ride after experiencing Flight of Passage. I've also seen the Eiffel Tower before, and I can confirm it's not bent like a banana. Living with the Land, on the other hand, feels a lot more like Epcot. It starts off a bit slow, but going through the greenhouse area is fascinating. A very unique ride altogether. Every Disney theme park experience must come to an end with a grand show. On offer to us that night was Harmonious, the ill-received replacement to Epcot Forever, which was the interim replacement for the beloved Illuminations Reflections of the Earth while they were prepping Harmonious. Yeah, it's complicated. Anyway, Harmonious is all about these super obnoxious, huge barges which stick out in the middle of the lake. Ugly in the daytime, but maybe pretty in the nighttime? You know what? Harmonious was good. I enjoyed it, and the obnoxious barges. I thought they were a unique and interesting way to make the show more dynamic. I wish they weren't around during the day though. Generally, the show was much better than Magic Kingdom's equivalent, Disney Enchantment. It had more of a story, the succession of fireworks wrapping around the lake was impressive, and so was the use of water. I came out of Harmonious feeling content. The show somehow reflected our day perfectly. There were quite a few bad parts, but also a lot of good stuff in there too. And that's it. Another theme park oh no, wait, there's one more ride we haven't talked about, and it involves rats. On the last day of our trip, we rope dropped Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, aka the Rat Ride. Now, I've ridden a rat ride at Disneyland Paris quite a bit, and at the time, I really enjoyed it. Epcot's Rat Ride is identical, but man, it's just not good. The ride does not fit the park, and it does not fit Disney. It's so bizarre, it's a screen ride that's hidden as a trackless dark ride that barely makes any use of the trackless feature. The oversized sets are impressive, I'll give it that, but they're also very few and far between. There's simply a lot of black, empty space, which is very un-Disney. It's almost like the ride was designed for the worst Disney theme park on the planet, Walt Disney Studios Park. So there we go. After that, Epcot was all wrapped up. So let's summarize. Epcot, at one point of its life, was meant to be innovative, the cutting edge. Now it's faded into the past. It's outdated, cringy, and half under construction. I can't say I was a fan of much of the front of the park. Fortunately, Epcot is two parks, and one of them is fantastic. World Showcase is an incredible idea for a theme park. It's not something you can experience on that scale in many places around the world. You get to enjoy different cultures, soak in the sights, and consume way too much good food, all in Florida of all places. However, Epcot has bigger problems than outdated technology: IPs. The intellectual property, the Frozen, the Ratatouille, the Guardians of the Galaxy, is just the complete opposite of what this park should be. Epcot's IPification is upsetting. How can I be immersed by various cultures from around the world when big name films are literally slapped in my face? What happened to Disney producing unique theme park rides? Ones which actually fit the theme park they've been designed for? The problem with me saying all of this is that Cosmic Rewind is genuinely outstanding. As a roller coaster, it's one of the best in all of Walt Disney World. It just doesn't belong there. So EPCOT, the park of 2 halves, and park number 2 of 8 ticked off. Let's visit a Disney theme park that has perfect IP integration next time, shall we?